Hey there, it's Danny Wood. I am going to be sharing with you my ideas on how to get more stuff done. So let me take you through something. I was up all night, literally all night, creating this little presentation. And you're going to get a copy of what I'm going to share with you, by the way. So I'm going to be giving you a monthly tool that allows you to discover and learn what your goals and priorities and tasks are. And then I have a weekly accountability sheet that you're going to be able to download as well. So you can download both of these. Just comment, let me know if you want in on it. It's basically the brainchild of this book here, Jim Rohn, Goal Setting. So if that book, The One Thing, Find Your Why, and the 5-second rule, if these four books got together and had a baby, this program that I'm about to share with you would be that thing. So I'm going to give you a copy of this. I've been doing this for years, and it's my trick, inside secret to how I get so much done. Basically, what I do is I do time blocking. So I'm going to show you. This is a technique for doing time blocking and accountability. It's particularly good for agents that have leads that haven't been contacted. If you have any projects that are unfinished, or if your prospecting is stalling out, because I know we can kind of get into the motion of doing this whole real estate business, but sometimes you just kind of need to regroup and refocus. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how I regroup and refocus. And a lot of real estate agents, they experience things like this. They experience things like disappointment, and they experience things like having a down year and feeling a little bit stressed out, fearful about the future. They have unfinished projects, and they're just kind of like drifting in the business. It's more like reactionary. There's no real sense of direction. So what I'm going to do, oh, this camera's crooked. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you how to get over that. And when you get the downloads, what you're going to get is you're going to get a monthly reset plan. So this is kind of like a focus finder where it allows you to focus your top priorities. You're going to discover and work towards your daily focus to be accountable and actually accomplish the things that you want to do. It's going to maintain integrity, because a lot of people say that they're going to do something, but they don't follow through and actually do it. And then you're also going to get a monthly prospecting list. I'm going to show you a technique that I use for not letting leads fall through the cracks. So if you want a copy of that, just comment below, let me know. You're going to get the download. Now let me share with you the first download that we're going to do. The first one here, let me just put that over top. The first one here is what I do at the beginning of every month. On the left side of the month, I'll do a laundry list of all the things that I think I want to get done that month. Like I've got some old leads. I got to clean up my database. I have an open house coming up. That's next week. I have to order new cards. There's a referral system I want to put into place. I have to update a seller package. We don't have a YouTube, well, I have a YouTube channel, but some of you don't have YouTube channels, so you might want to set up a YouTube channel. It's free. You want to definitely start doing video farming. Maybe you want to do a geographic postal code, something like that, zip code. And you've got a lot of emails that you haven't got to. So what I do at the beginning of every month is I write out my list of all the things that I want to do. Then over on the left, beside that, I'll number them. I don't actually number all of them. I'll normally just number like 1 to 4 or 1 to 3, because you can only work on one thing at a time. So if I know, okay, for example, my number one thing is the open house ads, because that's next week. That's time sensitive, so I'm going to write a number 1 there. And because I wrote a number 1 there, project 1, open house. And then I write out my why. And this one's kind of funny. It's because it's immediate, so I have to do that. Well, what's number 2? Okay, so number 2 on my list is old leads. Okay, so now my number 2 project for the month or upcoming is going to be working my old leads. Now, why is it important? Well, it's important because I paid for these already. It's a low-hanging fruit. If nothing else, I can work them for referrals. So, like, that's a very powerful why for me to be motivated and staying true with what it is. And then my number 3 project, scanning down the list, I wrote out, it's the referral system. So I write out referral, and then I say, why is this important to me? And it's because referrals are the cheapest source of business. So you can have many ways of discovering what your why is. There's more powerful ones than this. This is kind of surface level stuff. But like, why would it make an impact? What would it do for your business and your family? Why must it be done? What's it mean to you? So I kind of give you gentle reminders up here. Now that I have project 1, over here, I break that down. What are all the things I have to do during that? I have an open house coming up. So I know I have to check the buyers in my system who match that. I have to update the MLS and post it online that there's an open house. I'm going to want to do Facebook ads and classified ads, print ads for sure, and door knocking. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm then going to number those ones. So I don't know if you can see that. Update the MLS is obviously the first thing I want to do. The second thing is the print ads, because that's also time sensitive. Number 3 is the Facebook ads, because that's kind of like working for me in the background. That's money leveraged. And then check buyers who match the prospect. So if I have an open house coming up, I'm going to search who are all my current buyers that kind of fit that, because I want to reach out to them first. And then be proactive and door knock. I don't want to just show up and have nobody come out. And then I'll rinse and repeat and do that same process. So what you do is you take all of the things that are in your head that you think you need to do, narrow them down to the top 3. Then you write out why are those important to you, and then you break them down into smaller chunks. Now that I have these smaller chunks, I can go ahead with my daily life and not be as reactionary. So the second download that you're going to get is this. This is my weekly sheet. So every week, at the beginning of every day, so on Monday, for example, so say it's Monday, before I start my emails, before I check Facebook, before I call people back and do all this other stuff, I'm going to set a timer on my phone. So I do a 45-minute timer. And for 45 minutes, I'm going to work on whatever my number 1 project is. So I wrote out my projects at the top. It was the open house, the old leads, and the referral plan. I'm doing the open house because that's coming up next week. It's time sensitive. So for 45 minutes, I circle 45 minutes. During that 45-minute block, I do not open up Facebook. I do not check email. I don't respond to beeps and blips on my phone. All I'm doing is whatever that entails. And I already broke it down. Over here, so I already know all the things that I have to do, and I just peck away one thing at a time. You can only really focus on one thing at a time. So I'll focus on that. Maybe it only takes me 45 minutes. Perfect. I did that. Then, for that day, Monday, I'll write out the list of all the things I want to do that day. I got a closing. There's a contract we got to do. I got some emails I got to attend to. There's a webinar by Dan. I really want to tune into that. And I got to order up new business cards. Well, after I write out my daily list, I break it out. I put a number beside it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my number 1 thing is the contract. Obviously, that's money in the bank, so that's number 1. I got to get that done. Number 2 will be emails, because there's some important ones in there. Number 3 is the new cards, and I'll save Dan for last because he's always good, and he records his stuff. Now, you'll notice the time blocking on the right here, all it has is chunks of 45. It doesn't have 9 to 10, 10 to 11. It's not based on time of day. It's based on present moment. So I'll set the egg timer for 45 minutes. And then I'll chip away one project at a time. So I might not get to my items number 4, 5, and 6 on my list, but I will always get to my numbers 1, 2, and 3. If you can just be consistent with that, camera crooked. If you can just be consistent with that every day. So imagine you do that Monday, then you do it Tuesday. And so say on Tuesday, well, I did the open house, so what's my next project? Okay, I got to do the old leads. So then I circle 45 minutes for project number 2. And before I do anything else, I'll work 45 minutes towards that. You'll see underneath these projects is 2 other options, prospecting or following up. If you don't have any projects on the go, at the very bottom, you should at least be prospecting and following up with people for 45 minutes a day. Who cares about the numbers? Some of you might be go hard and get like 30 contacts in. Some of you might just do 6. I would way rather see somebody be consistent and prospecting and following up 5 days a week than hitting it hard for 1 or 2 weeks and then stalling out. So after that, you'll see at the bottom here is a list of all your prospects. So when I say you're at an open house and you meet a prospect or something like that, I would just make a little mental note. So I'm always carrying this sheet with me, and I'll write out the prospect's name and what the opportunity is. Maybe it's an agent, join our team. Maybe it's a seller, met them at open house or something like that. And so what I'm doing is I'm writing down all the prospects, and this is 1 week. So maybe in 1 week I'll get 9 prospects. At the end of the month, I'll take all of these sheets and I'll look at this and I'll be like, oh my God, yeah, I got to give that person a call. I don't want to let that one slip through the crack. So this is a really cool tool for you to not drop things in the crack. Now, I want to give you all this. So if you want a copy of the download, if you want a copy of this video, I'm going to record a full webinar where we actually go through the process of helping you discover what your goals are and then breaking them into smaller chunks, then let me know. Just comment below. I'm going to get a copy of this out to everybody. I really hope you guys leverage it. There's going to be 2 versions. One version is you do it yourself and you get an accountability partner. The other version is where you do it with me and we get a small group and we meet once a month. At the end of every month, what we're going to do is we're going to reset our sails, because sometimes the winds change and we got to change course, we got to change direction. So I don't want to see another 6 months pass and you'd be like, man, I didn't get those projects done, or man, I'm not hitting the goals I wanted to hit. If you just stay true with this, you definitely will hit your goals. So I want to say thank you for joining me. Just comment if you want a copy and I'll get that to you. Thank you.